And now, Lifestyles Unlimited presents the Real Estate Investor Radio Show. Over the next hour, we unfold your map to financial freedom. You'll learn how to retire through investing in single family and multifamily real estate. You'll learn how to create cash flow and build wealth so you can have the time and money to live the lifestyle you want.
Welcome to the show. My name is Al Gordon, and as always, I'm working on your financial freedom. Do you hear the passion in my voice today? Because there's a whole lot of stuff I got to share with you today. First of all, I'm going to talk to you about the lifestyle that I just got to experience. It was an amazing time with my beautiful bride, Tina. We're going to get into the lifestyle aspect of my life, and we're also going to talk about something called Expo. What's Expo? Well, Expo is an annual event that Lifestyles Unlimited throws, and we invite all of our members to come. We invite non-members to come. So if you're a member or a non-member and you want to go to our Expo event, first of all, you probably need to know where it's located. It's going to be in Irving, Texas. As a matter of fact, I'm in Irving, Texas because I'm attending Expo. It's literally kicking off today, and it's going to run for the end of the week. Now, if you're nowhere near Irving, Texas, but you still want to come on up and be a part of what we do, come on up. I mean, there's hotels around here. I know the primary hotel and the backup hotel are all sold out, but I know there's a ton of other lodging opportunities around the Irving Convention Center, and you can find a room. It's going to be okay. And here's the other thing I want to do for you. I want to give you an opportunity to attend Expo for free. Yeah, attend Expo for free. And here's how you're going to do it. You're going to go to the Irving Convention Center. We're going to own the whole thing. So it's not like you got to find the Lifestyles Unlimited group. We own the whole facility. We do. As a matter of fact, we're actually spilling over into another facility because we have so many people coming. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome event. I'm really excited. As a matter of fact, the bus tour is out right now. The bus tour, all the people that signed up for the special Wednesday bus tour, they're already out there with Dell viewing different multifamily apartment communities, and they're learning so much about how to invest in real estate. So let me give you that opportunity to come on out and join us and not have to pay for entry. Are you cool with that? Now, I mean, if you want to pay for entry, you can. I think it's like $97 or something to get in the door. But if you show up there and you go to the member services team, because they're the people that are checking everybody in, and you just say, hey, look, I heard this guy, Al Gordon, on the radio, and he said I can get free entry to the Expo. That's all you have to do. You just go up there and say, hey, my promo code is Al. And if you say the promo code of Al, they're not going to charge you $97 to get in the door. They're just going to give you your credentials and turn you loose on the event. And it's going to be a great event. I mean, there's just so much going on at the Expo this year. Now, not everybody's here yet. The big main event actually kicks off tomorrow night. We're going to have a fireside chat with Del Walmsley, who's our founder and CEO. He's the guy, by the way, that put Lifestyles Unlimited together well over 32 years ago. Yeah, we're actually in our 33rd year of existence, 33 years of teaching people a better way to achieve retirement than what they had been doing. And our game plan, our roadmap, if you will, is designed to get you retired in the next 5 years. Not that 30, 40, 50-year roadmap that you're currently following. I'm talking about a roadmap that can get you retired in the next 5 years. And we're going to be talking about all of the elements, all of the components of everything you need to know in order to achieve that at Expo. Yeah, it's the one-stop shop for Lifestyles Unlimited. And here's the other beautiful thing. You're going to be hanging out with a bunch of people that have either already achieved retirement and they're working on the lifestyle. I actually qualify for that group now. I'm a part of that group. Or you're going to be a part of the other group, which is the group I just graduated from, which are people that are in the process of getting themselves retired. Yeah, you have to get into the process of getting yourself retired before you can get yourself to a point of retirement and then start working on the lifestyle. Yeah, it's kind of an amazing thing, isn't it? So what are we going to be talking about at Expo? Well, first of all, let me go back to that fireside chat, because not only is Del Walmsley, our founder and CEO, going to have this fireside chat, he's going to bring in Lynn Murrow. She's our executive vice president for Lifestyles Unlimited. She's basically the person behind the scenes that makes everything in Lifestyles Unlimited go. So you have the big brain in Dell, you have the tactical and operational experience in Lynn. So when you combine the two of them together, you get all the answers that you've ever wanted to any real estate related question. And I will tell you, they take any and all questions as long as they're real estate related, and they address them. And it doesn't have to be questions on what we do specifically in Lifestyles Unlimited. Yeah, no, okay, so you're probably going, okay, Al, you just confused me. What are you talking about? All right, so in Lifestyles Unlimited, when it comes to real estate investing, we only focus on two elements of the entire real estate market spectrum. Two elements. They are residential income producing assets, and they're found either in the single family space or they're found in the multifamily space. We don't do trailer parks. We don't do storage facilities. We don't do the majority of commercial real estate because we have determined that those elements are a little bit more risky than the residential arm. So let me lay it out for you. In 2017, I became a member of Lifestyles Unlimited. Now, I was skeptical. I'll be very honest with you. I went into Lifestyles Unlimited looking to blow holes in everything that they were attempting to teach me. And here's the problem I had. I couldn't blow holes in it. I couldn't. I could not find a crack in the armor. I looked really, really detailed, but I couldn't find that crack in the armor because there is no crack in the armor. Everything that Lifestyles Unlimited teaches its members is solid information. One of the things that we will teach you is what to invest in. Now, I'll just come right out. I already told you what we invest in, so let me just repeat it. Multifamily and single family assets. Now, Del Walmsley has been exploring some commercial forms of real estate that involve small grocery centers. And he's not opened that up to the Lifestyles Unlimited membership yet because it is a supplement to what we do. He's trying to figure out if it makes total sense for us as Lifestyles Unlimited members to maybe expand into a different segment of the marketplace. But before he reveals anything to anybody at Lifestyles Unlimited about how to do it, he's going to test it himself. And if it blows up in his face, then it blows up in his face, and he knows that, okay, well, this didn't work out. This is definitely not for my membership. That's the beautiful thing about having a guy like Del Walmsley on your team. He cares. He cares about me. He cares about you. He cares about the 50,000 members of Lifestyles Unlimited, and he cares about your success. And he's willing to take certain inherent risks on his own to test certain things to make sure that our members don't get into trouble. And here's why he does it. When you become a member, you're going to attend what we call the Financial Freedom Seminar. It's 16 hours of everything you need to know to be a successful real estate investor. And the first thing that our instructors do is they have you, well, first of all, we give you a booklet. It's about 140 pages long. Yeah, it's 140 pages. I'm telling you, this is a real educational program. This is not, hey, we're just going to give you a little notepad of paper and a pencil, and maybe you can take some notes if you can keep up with us. No, this is intensive training. This is designed to change your life. And the first thing our instructors do is they have you turn to the very back of the booklet. And in the very back, they have you open up the back cover, and they have you write this phrase: I will not do what Del told me to do. And you're thinking, why would the instructors have you write that simple phrase in the back of the book? When you deviate off of the map, see that booklet that we give you? That's the roadmap to success. That is the roadmap. That's the roadmap that we as Lifestyles Unlimited members follow. And what the 16-hour seminar is designed to do is to take you through that entire roadmap so that you fully understand that roadmap. They have you write that in the back of the book specifically because if you veer off of the roadmap, if you go into a danger zone on your own and you get into trouble, and then you come back to Lifestyles Unlimited and you go, man, this didn't work out. I need some help. We just go, why did you do that? And you go, well, I did this. And then we tell you to look at the last page of the book. I will not do what Del told me to do. See, Del has found that when our members get into trouble with investing, it's because they have done something that is outside of the parameters of what we lay out for our members. And that's why we have you write that in the back of the book. It's an amazing thing. Now, I promised you that I was going to talk to you about my lifestyle. I just came back from a 10-day cruise with my beautiful wife, Tina, and I did nothing but focus on just relaxing, taking it easy, and adoring my wife. That's what I did. For 10 days, I was on a floating hotel. I mean, that's what a cruise ship is. It's a floating hotel that changes locations. That's the neat thing about a cruise ship. Yeah, you don't have to get in your car and drive and change the locations. The cruise ship changes the locations for you. So we sailed out of a place called Galveston, Texas. Now, you folks in Houston, you know exactly where that's at. And yeah, so we sailed out of there and we went down to a place called the Yucatan. And I'll tell you, Tina and I, when we got to the Yucatan, we decided we wanted to immerse into the culture. So we didn't stay at the cruise port, and drink beers like everybody else does. No, we went on an excursion. We went deep into the Yucatan, and we found these beautiful pools of water that are naturally occurring. And we had the opportunity to actually go and swim and float in these beautiful pools of water that are actually submerged in the ground. Yeah, these are natural aquifers that fed the Yucatan region. And we got to experience it firsthand. We got to experience the culture, and it was beautiful. It was actually a moment where I found myself growing even closer to my wife, because I'm sharing a very rare and unique experience that, could we do it in the United States? Yeah, I'm sure they have similar things in the United States, especially around where I live. But the fact that we were doing something that people thousands of years did, that was amazing. And because I got to experience it with my beautiful wife, Tina, it made it that much more important to me. It was I can't even pick out the right word. I mean, romance comes to mind, but it's even more powerful than romance. That's the bond that I've been able to create with my wife since we've been able to retire ourselves in 2019. One of the major results that Tina and I achieved, and I know I'm going right off topic here because I'm supposed to be talking to you about, my lifestyle, but actually I am talking to you about my lifestyle, because when I took the stress of work out of the equation of my life, it relieved me of all kinds of trauma. It really did. It relieved me of a bunch of trauma that was impacting my psyche, my physical being, and it allowed me to focus on things that I deem ultimately important. And one of the things that is ultimately important to me is my relationship with my wife. I love my wife to death. I firmly believe that God gave her to me specifically because he knew I needed some serious help. Yeah, I'm serious about that. And I didn't always do a great job when I was in the military as a spouse, but I will tell you, I'm making up for it in retirement. When we come back from the break, I got to tell you about Colombia. Oh my goodness, did we have a blast. When we come back from the break, more on Colombia. Stick around.
Got questions? Call Lifestyles Unlimited at 855-497-4335. The Real Estate Investor Radio Show continues next.
What would you say to women out there, Kelly, if they're thinking about doing this, if they're sitting out there right now going, I'm trapped with a glass ceiling where I work, I know I can't go up any further, there's no room there. What would you say to them about becoming their own boss?
Well, you can decide to stay where you're at and keep trying to crack that glass ceiling. But at the end of the day, in this environment, it is so easy, to be able to get out of that mold. People know me and they come up to me and they're very gracious, and they don't look at me and say, oh, you're a woman, I'm not going to invest with you, I'm going to go over here. There's no real gender there.
Are you ready to be a part of a world where there are no glass ceilings, no gender bias, no limits? Start like award-winning real estate investor Kelly did with the online workshop. Register at lifestylesunlimitedworkshop.com.
creating the lifestyle you've always wanted. You're hearing Lifestyles Unlimited's Real Estate Investor Radio Show.
Welcome back to the second half of the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show. My name is Al Gordon, and as always, I'm working on your financial freedom. And in this segment of the show, I'm going to continue talking about my lifestyle because I think you need to understand that there is a lifestyle waiting for you that is different than the lifestyle you're currently dealing with. And I know this for a fact because I spent 27 years in the United States Army, so I know what it's like to serve other people. That's what you do in the military. And when I left the military and tried to retire on the pension that I earned, I found myself to be a miserable failure. I did not receive enough income from my pension to meet or exceed the expectations of my household expenses, and I had to get back into the workforce. And I did. I eventually got back into the workforce, but I was miserable. And I was concerned that I would have to spend 20 more years in the workforce to try and get a second pension out of this new job that I had. And hopefully at the age of 70, Social Security would still be around and I could take my maximum benefit. And that's what my retirement plan became. Yeah, this all happened like in the 2014, 2015 era. In 2017, I was working in that job. I was pretty miserable. I was overqualified for the work, so I was kind of bored too. I'm just telling you what I was feeling. And I stumbled across Lifestyles Unlimited on the radio. I heard somebody like me talking to me about things that were important to me, and I started to listen. And I would catch the radio show. I think it was every Sunday. It came on at 9 o'clock in my local area. And that was about the time we would drive to church. So we'd always catch the show going to church. And one of the things that I found interesting about the show was that it dealt with topics that most other shows weren't dealing with. First of all, there aren't very many radio shows that deal with real estate investing. All right. And there definitely aren't any as good as ours. I'm just laying that out there for you. We are the Lifestyles Unlimited Radio Network. We are exceptional at what we do, and we love what we do, and we love sharing information with you. But having said that shameless plug, the information I received from the radio show was enough information to get me to look into Lifestyles Unlimited and to make a determination as to whether or not Lifestyles Unlimited would help me achieve retirement faster than what my current plan was doing. Because remember that plan that I was on, I still had another 19 years to go. And it wasn't looking good for me. I mean, I was miserable. I just didn't want to work until the age of 70, but I didn't know anything else until I became a member of Lifestyles Unlimited. When I became a member, I went through the Financial Freedom Seminar. That's the seminar I told you about earlier in the show. That's where I got my 140-page book. That's where I wrote in the very back of the book, I will not do what Dell told me to do. And I have never deviated from that plan because I don't want to ever look in the back of the book and go, oh, I deviated from what Dell taught me to do. And I got a bad result. I will tell you, I know other Lifestyles Unlimited members that, you know, they saw the shiny carrot, if you will, and maybe they saw an investment that offered them more cash flow than what they could get from a Lifestyles Unlimited type of deal. Or maybe it was a deal that offered them more depreciation, or maybe it was a deal that offered them more equity growth, or whatever the shiny carrot was. When we went after those types of deals, they would get a bad result, and they'd come back to Lifestyles Unlimited and go, "Hey, why didn't this work?" And the real answer is the reason it didn't work is because we don't teach you that because we know it doesn't work. Yeah, we don't teach you all the aspects of real estate investing because why focus on everything when you can just focus on the most profitable elements? Does that make sense? Everybody needs a place to live. Look around you. How many people do you know don't require a place to live? Exactly. Okay, let's not bring up the homeless problem. That's a separate issue. I'm talking about investing your hard-earned money into assets that have the ability to double that money in, say, 3 to 5 years while providing you a cash flow component quarterly, possibly monthly, depending on the type of asset class you choose to invest in. And you use that cash flow to retire yourself while building the equities so that when you do dispose of the asset, you trade that asset in and you buy two to replace it. This is how you grow your portfolio. This is how you make money in real estate. And this is how you get yourself to a point of retirement in the next 5 years. Trust me, it's not rocket science, although I have met many rocket scientists that are members of Lifestyles Unlimited. Yeah, there's a lot of rocket scientists that are doing the Lifestyles Unlimited methodology because they're smart enough to realize it works. It works. I mean, I'm just telling you. Okay, so let me get back to my lifestyle. I was telling you about the cenotes of Mexico. Now, that's the ancient aquifers. I think there's something like well over 3,000 of them throughout Mexico. We got to go hang out in two different cenotes, and they were really cool. I mean, one of them, you walk through a hole literally in the ground, and it opens up into this massive cavern that's just filled with crystal clear water. And the water's like, I don't know, maybe 75, 76 degrees. It's comfortable, so you can get in it and you can swim around in it. And it's kind of a refreshing feeling. And I got to hang out with Tina. Yeah, we just hung out in these things together. And it just made me fall in love with her even more because I was doing something so very cool with the person that I love the most in my life. Yeah, and you can do it too. I'm serious. You don't have to go to Mexico and get in the cenotes, but you can do it too. So after we left the Yucatan region, the boat steamed all the way down to Colombia. Now, I have never, ever in my life been to South America. Never been there. I've been to Central America, never been to South America. So this was the first opportunity in my 58 years on this planet to go to South America. And we went into Colombia. And I'll tell you what, Tina and I, we decided we were going to go off the reservation, if you will, okay? So we didn't take an organized tour. We just basically got in a cab and we started exploring Colombia. Now, some of you people are thinking, dude, you're nuts. You're in Colombia and you're driving around with your wife and you're not even armed? And I'm like, yeah, man, that's how cool it was. But here's what we experienced. We experienced a different part of the world where I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of poverty down there. And the country, well, Colombia, it's a country. And one of the things that we found was it's a very socialist country. There's a definite delineation between the haves and the have-nots. As a matter of fact, a lady that we ran into who became ultimately our little tour guide, she showed us around all these different parts of the cities down there. She was telling us about how the people with money live over here and the people without money, well, they live over there. And she took us to those different parts of town. And you could definitely tell a huge difference between the people that have money and the people that don't have money. It's amazing. It kind of looks like some of our cities in America. Some of our cities in America are representative of what I saw down there. But down there, one of the things that I loved about being in Colombia was the people were very friendly. They were very friendly. Now, we had to be very careful about pickpockets and thieves and stuff because that's apparently a big problem down there. So we did everything that we needed to do to protect ourselves. We didn't lose any personal items or money or anything like that. But we had a really good time. We got to go to these emerald factories where, well, they're not an emerald factory. They're basically a jewelry store, but they were teaching us about emeralds and the fact that this part of the world is the biggest producer of emeralds. And to be honest with you, I don't know anything about jewelry, but I learned a lot about emeralds and how they're found and how they're classified and how they're valued. And I even had an opportunity to buy some, but I didn't buy any because I don't know how to buy jewelry. I didn't go to Lifestyles Unlimited to learn how to buy jewelry. I went to Lifestyles Unlimited to learn how to buy real estate. It sounds like I'm bragging, and I'm really not trying to brag. I'm actually just trying to share with you some of the wonderful experiences that I was able to enjoy because I've achieved a place of retirement in my life, and I'm actually living a lifestyle for a change. And that's part of the reason I'm sharing with you my experiences. I want you to understand that there is a better path to retirement than the one you're currently following. I know it for a fact because I used to follow a similar path to what you're doing. When did you first start going to school? That's when they started indoctrinating you into the system. That's when you had to be at a specific place at a specific time, and you had to do what people told you to do. I just think the whole educational system is rigged. And here's the thing. Ultimately, you get into the workforce because in the way our society is organized, you have to be a contributing member to society. You have to go and do something, trade time for money so that you get money, so that you can trade that money for places like food and, shelter. Oh, a place to live. That brings me full circle, doesn't it? See, what I do now is I provide quality housing for a demographic that desires it. Now, people are either going to buy it or they're going to rent it. And that's what I invest in. And that's what I think you should invest in also. And the reason I think you should do this is because it can get you on a glide path to getting yourself to retirement in the next 5 years. And what if it takes you 6? Whoa, is that the kiss of death? No, it just means it took you 6 years and not, 30, 40, or 50. When you get to retirement, you start working on the lifestyle. And that's what I'm going to share with you right now. I want to share with you what Tina and I did in Panama because it was an amazing experience. We actually went to the Panama Canal and we were able to witness a ship actually going through the canals, and we got to experience it. We got to watch the locks in action. It was actually very cool. I mean, it's a very kind of a simple process, but it's a very complex process too in the same right. And we're watching the tugboats pull the ship through. It was really cool. Not something you get to experience in the United States. Yeah, that's my point. I got to go do something with my beautiful wife Tina that I would have never ever probably done on my own, and definitely probably would have never experienced in the United States because we don't have a Panama Canal in the United States. Yeah, last I checked, it's not here. It's down there. All right. So we left Panama, and guess where we went? We went to one of my favorite places on the planet. We went to Cozumel, Mexico. And man, I just love Cozumel because the water there is just perfect. It was like, I think the water temperature was 80, 82 degrees. I went scuba diving. Tina went snuba diving. So you're thinking, what was snuba? What's that? Okay, so snuba, for those of you that don't understand all of that, it's kind of like scuba, except you don't wear all the gear. You basically wear a mask and a breathing unit, and that breathing unit is connected to a hose that is running to a surface vessel, which is pumping clean, filtered air down to you. So you can go down underneath. It's kind of like snorkeling, except you don't have to keep coming back up to get air. You can go down and you can stay down and you can enjoy things. The drawback is, unlike scuba, you're kind of stuck in an area, and you are tethered to that breathing apparatus. Whereas in scuba, I can go anywhere. I'm independent, and that's kind of what I did. We did some drift dives, and I say me and the people I went scuba diving with, because Tina doesn't scuba, she snubas, and I had a blast. I saw some amazing things. I saw moray eels. I saw sculpin. I saw stingrays. I didn't see any nurse sharks this time around. They're kind of my favorites because they always hang out in pairs, and they always find the most interesting places to hide. They find these little caves that if you don't know that they're there, you don't know that they're there. But if you look in these little caves that are down there and you shine your light in, you can usually see two nurse sharks sitting there side by side, hanging out with each other. And they are really, really cool. So when we finished all of our excursions, we got back on the boat and we came back to Texas. So Tina and I spent 10 days on a cruise, having a wonderful time together, experiencing life together, experiencing just about 24 hours a day spent with your spouse. We didn't get angry with each other. We just adored each other because there was no stress. There was no requirement to be somewhere. There was no deadline popping up on my phone saying, "Where is this? Where is this?" None of that stuff exists in my life anymore. It's all gone. It's all in the past. And I have no desire to bring it into the present because I am retired. I am retired. And I'm not an old man. Okay, I'm 58 years of age, but I am not an old man. I am still able to enjoy my retirement without having to be confined to a wheelchair, which is probably where I'm ultimately going to wind up. That's just the way my body is working. But the point I want to make is that you too can get yourself to a place of retirement. We have this thing called Expo going on right now. It is going on right now. As you hear my voice, it is going on right now. We have people on 4 different buses that are going to different apartment communities that are learning all the intricacies of investing in multifamily assets, whether they're going to buy the asset themselves, whether they're going to invest with other members into those assets, doesn't matter. You need to understand how the asset operates, how the asset works. And when you understand all of that and you have the opportunity to go to these properties and you have the lead investors walking you through their scope of work, their plan of action, everything from beginning to end, explaining to you how they're repositioning a certain asset, you can't help but learn. And then you start to learn that there's different modalities available to you that allow you to decide whether or not you're going to be an independent rental operator, you're going to be a lead investor, or you're just going to be like me, a passive investor investing with other members that are making you a ton of money so that you can live the lifestyle. If you want to go to Expo, all you got to do is show up at the Irving Convention Center and mention the promo code AL, and we'll let you in.
The information and opinions you hear on the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show are those of the hosts, guests, and callers. The Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show is for entertainment purposes only. Please consult a professional regarding your personal investment needs. Nothing presented constitutes an endorsement, recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or security.